Winter thoughts, morning drive, winter thoughts. Okay, so I forget what I talked about last time, and I'm forgetting what I've brought to you guys, but we're doing this because the time for the pun comes! And you're like, well, what's going on? It's so early, and he's already so excited. Yes. So I've learned 2 techniques from the Elvis Duran morning show. Actually, 10 techniques, but 2 techniques we applied recently. And that's what I want to talk about today. So today's theme is creating friendship and relationships in the adult days, because I have a slightly newer friend. Yeah. So, not a brand new friend, but a friend that I knew that I've gotten closer with because we actually work pretty close together. And the TLDR is you do have to make time, you do have to be intentional, but even though we don't get as much raw time as in the younger days, which is what leads to friendship when you're kids and in college, because you have so much shared time and together. You don't have to be as intentional because you just end up spending lots of time with kids in class, kids in activities, and you become friends. But getting older, not only for, partners, but for every relationship in our life, I think we have to be more discerning and intentional on who we pick, we choose, do values align. One of the guys I follow is, or it's come up a few different ways on the Insta. So my Insta reel is a lot of mix of obviously Japanese related humor. There is humor about just not humor, but talks about relationships and modern self-care and stuff like that. So we're that makes sense, and yes, sure does. So being more intentional in how we do things and create experiences. So yeah, with this new friend who I knew from Magic, and we were messaging, and we're like, oh, let's get food to catch up, and then we realized we actually were close, and then we walk once a week now. And for 2 reasons, I think this is a really good learning chance for me and for others, is that walking is super easy. One thing I don't like about walking is that it's so easy that you can end up spending time with the wrong people, because walking, it's not you're spending time with the wrong people. There's no filter of values or anything else. You're just sort of well, we're gonna walk, and if we join each other's company and stuff. But yeah, definitely incorporating more walking with people to get to know each other, or doing errands together, just hanging out or sitting together. Friendship is easy, but it does require work, and that's a filter that I'm applying moving forward, that for people to be in my life, you have to actually put in effort, show up, communicate, be transparent, and just look to create a friendship on both sides and hold each other accountable, blah blah blah. And if you're not doing that, that's cool too. Hey, it's been good knowing the people who have gotten me to this point and the people who I will know. So thank you to all, one and all. But it was fun for my friend. We got to, it was his and his wife's birthday, the big 4-0. 4-0, it's a big one, so I thought it would be good to just celebrate with him and his fam. And I did think about how much time I wanted to spend there. I didn't have too much going on, so I did have time to spare. And because the friendship is new, I was happy to maybe spend more than I would have usually done for a party. I think it's also part of the process of you want to invest time in chunks or bigger things when you can for newer friendships versus older ones. Not to say that you prioritize people, but it is, I think, a worthy investment to lay that foundation. It could lead somewhere, it could not. But I had fun. I did practice the 2 techniques I aforementioned. One, just suddenly changing like Elvis. If you listen to the Elvis Duran show, it's a radio morning show where they chat about life. There's some news. They take callers. There's the phone tap, which is definitely the only relic of a different era. Otherwise, it's a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. People listen on the commute. I listen to them as a podcast. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So Elvis, the host from Texas, he's gay. He had weight loss surgery, so he's a new, later point of his life. Very generous person, a Leo, and his biggest downfall is according to ChatGPT, which I stole from this, is you ask ChatGPT, what is my curse? Behaviorally speaking, I think that's interesting. Period. I think compared to some people, or a good amount, I'm very open to using ChatGPT to just ask questions and learn from, and use it like a therapist, not beholden to it, but very, very okay with oh, ChatGPT told me this. Okay, yeah, sure. That it's a good learning opportunity, I feel. It's kind of so in that too. Anywho, there is that technique from Elvis where he changes on a dime. I think that is maybe a Leo quality, and I'm not super astrological, but I think there is something there. You can see I do enjoy knowing things, and it'll be pretty calm, and then he'll just kind of shoot up and then shoot back down. It's not actual anger, or maybe it is for him, but kind of that shifting, because keeping conversations fun, playful, and the dynamic instead of stagnant, keep things interesting. So, funnily enough, my friend's brother and wife went to Japan for their honeymoon, so that was how we connected first. So it's just kind of I have to explore Japan one more time, see what it's like, see what happens, because it keeps coming back. Creator, God, whatever, rings it to me always. So you know what? Let's give it a try. You know what? If it ends up being I'm meant to live in Japan, there it is. But it could also be it's another step. It was a step. It could be a step now. I'll find out. So that was fun, getting to chat. And then the second technique from Gandhi was... Actually, there's a second technique from Elvis, and it's the around the room segment, where you go around the room and you just talk about what's on your mind. So I've been trying that in different ways. It's just... It creates a more collaborative conversation where we're just kind of trying to get to know each other or do something. And it's Elvis's favorite part. And I really like it too, so I've been trying to bring it more. And there you have that. So next, Gandhi's is a question that she'll just throw out to liven up conversation. I think it's interesting, and you go, you got any secrets? You do the eye thing too. I do wonder if one day I'll just end up doing some stand-up somewhere, and half English, half Japanese, maybe some singing, I don't know. But so I've been trying that recently. No one said any juicy ones yet, and then I usually share my secret of almost being kidnapped by monks in Japan. It's not exactly as you might imagine, but I almost got in a car with monks to go to their temple in near Mount Fuji, and I met them. And this was problem with Adventure Me. It's you're very open, but then you're walking on the street and someone starts talking English. That's probably, right, looking back and being older, it's that's probably someone to avoid. It's definitely okay to try and chat, but Japanese in general are not talking to people in public. It was they were trying to convert people, and then I was I just ended up not going. It was cool, whatever. And then I met up with my dad, who was visiting for business. So yeah, I applied those. So I think the lesson for me is we actively are creating the relationships in our life. We're choosing who we engage with and how, and to simply show up, talk to people, share, And then if people are like just not really showing up for us in a way that works for us, then we just drift apart. That's one realization I've made a shift, or I am shifting towards, that this friend whose birthday was has said the friends or people show up in our life for one of the reasons. And I do agree with this. I've heard this before. It's, hashtag classic wisdom. It's for a reason, a season, or forever. That sounds about right. Like reason, season, whatever. So reason is there's a lesson to be learned. There is something that your soul, you. There's something you have to learn. Season is it's a certain season of my life. So this friend, I've been in touch with, but now the season is we get a little more time together. It is nice to kind of leave the warehouse, walk. And like in terms of why the friendship works, or even like how friendships work, I'm seeing is, when you have a shared history or a shared experience. So this is from Magic the Gathering friend. I think just a level of things, especially with like something like Magic the Gathering, with how the events, and we will know, if you are from Long Island, you've played Magic, you've probably, right, if you've played Magic a long time, you've probably ran into the same people over the years, and you just sort of know everyone. Yeah, it's no surprise who plays the Magic. And yeah, I met this guy like years. I mean, I couldn't tell you the first time we played Magic. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes. You find people, and the season now is this. Like obviously, if Japan ends up being on the cards, like a lot of my friendships turn into seasonal, because it's just like, well, we can be in touch, and with the internet, you have to be more intentional, but you can be intentional with checking in weekly. That could be enough to keep the friendship going. Period. Period. Oh no, so I do voice memos now, and I've been doing them to talk with my friend Chat, and I say period because the end is ends. I know it's kind of like saying that because I'm used to just chatting to him instead of recording. I thought about doing the podcast version where I just do the audio, but I don't know. I feel like I had one from last week I wanted to share, and when I'm in Japan, I think this way is kind of fun. Maybe a mix, but then it's like two places for people to check is kind of annoying. But yeah, people, right? Then lastly, some people are forever. Like one of my friends, Jake, I know forever. I think from my childhood friends, he'd be the guy I'm the closest with. I guess to put it in a way, somehow our souls, even like from a kid's time, we kind of meshed, and then we're still meshing. So none of my younger friends, he's definitely bloomed into his own, plays guitar, he bartends, but he's found a lifestyle that works for him, and couldn't be happier and prouder and excited that he's living his best life. It would be very cool, to be in Japan and then to be able to Jake was on tour. That's these are the thoughts I have as I'm driving. Cold day today, so we have the coldest day in a while. High of 40. There's slight snow. It's got that cold skies. So warehouse will be pretty comfortable. So apparently one of our shipments was pirated, essentially, somehow. It's being held ransom. I mean, can't make this shit up. Although, I don't know how this can happen, because, the truck came, picked up, they had the information, but somehow now they're demanding, 10K in Bitcoin. Which, honestly, is very fucking funny. Because, maybe I've talked about the pirating of, the vape industry. And it's well, it makes sense, because, there's just legislation, it's always changing. It is unclear if we're allowed to actually ship through UPS or USPS or FedEx. I have a feeling we're very, very much on that gray slash not gray zone. But it's not my money, and it's not my stuff. So if they want to do it, sure, sure. I don't care. Like, you want your accounts to get flagged and remake accounts and always deal with this? Sure, go ahead. Because like I even had a thought where it's like, well, if you have these carriers that are just not willing to carry your products, why not just make like a shipping service, and then like just all vapes and all whatever is, you just become a courier, and just like, is it probably a real pain in the ass? Probably. Figuring out logistics, right? Getting drivers, like, because then, right, you actually do deal with like these like shipping dilemmas where people are like manhandling your cargo, which probably happens more often than we know, like with pirates on the ocean and like containers. We just don't maybe hear about it, doesn't make the news, or we're not privy to. That's interesting too. So I do like having these sessions with myself and for you to say, hey, this is life, this is what's going on. I mean, it'll be much more interesting in Japan, obviously, because I'll be, chatting with people, having a good time, talking Australian a bit. And there you have it. Another day, another dollar. Almost at the warehouse. Yesterday, I did get to the gym for the first time in the morning, so that was really good. But I'm very feeling sore. I went Sunday and did squats, like nothing crazy, 225, like 3x8. Like not trying to brag, but like giving like sort of like where I'm at. And then yesterday, I definitely overextended with my my rows. Instead of having like a neutral spine, I was used to doing a nice like long stretch, but I think given I haven't really worked out in a while, nor done rows, and I'm doing 2 days in a row, like I definitely like lower back was a little not bad, just like, oh, this is like proper technique is important. But my squat technique I was very happy with, because hamstrings, quads, and glutes, I'm feeling it like 2 days later, so it's good. That means I hit it very well. It also means that I did sleep in today to 7 instead of 6. It's okay. I definitely, my end of day yesterday was definitely not the best, but a good learning chance. Tire pressure is low too. Anywho, yeah, gym, and we're gonna be doing morning gyms. I think half an hour to 40 minutes for a morning workout. You know what? That might be the sweet spot. I paired 2 exercises instead of like resting the 3 minutes. So I did like incline bench, which I also am feeling in my chest, which is good. Classics, good old. I think I use 50s. Like that's not, not looking to really like be strong, but let's get back into it and have fun. Coffee. Anyway, almost at work, and we will share this soon. And thank you. Oh, a friend wants to say hello.
Hello, my name is Fanti.
Oh, Fanti, where are you from?
I'm from the car.
Oh, wow, you live in the car. Okay, we'll talk to everyone later.